Hello, everybody. I'm David Perlmutter from QuantumListing. Thank you for joining me today on this webinar where the main topic is adding and optimizing your listings. We'll also be covering ways to search for listings on QuantumListing, as well as more listing features and tips. We want to make sure that you're getting as much out of QuantumListing as you possibly can. So without any further ado, let's get started. And we'll be switching back and forth between our slideshow and the website during the course of this, and that should hopefully go fairly smoothly. And there we go. Okay. So the first thing that you need to know is, how do you access your listings? So once you have logged into QuantumListing, and you'll be brought to your profile page. If you're somewhere else on the website and are not on your profile page, then you click the avatar in the top right corner of the website. So let's say here I am on the first page of the site, and I want to get back to my profile page. This little guy up here on the right, top right, is how I get back to my home page. So listings are accessed, your listings rather are accessed here. This is where you're going to edit them, archive them, save them, share them, all the above. Okay, so adding, oh gosh, I went too far. Adding listings is quite easy. And we're going to show you a live demo of adding a listing. The first thing you'll do is make sure that listings are selected right here. And then you're going to click the plus sign to add a listing. And okay. Then fill out the required fields. So there's only a handful of things that you have to do, but there's a lot more that we recommend you do. So you need to add a listing title, whether the property is for lease or sale or both or sublease. You're going to choose, and you'll be able to select that from a drop-down list. You're going to choose the asset type, and we have a nice long list of asset types in addition to the main ones. You have to add rent. If you don't want to add the rent, leave it as 0 and it will show up as inquire. Same for square feet available. And then with date available, you're going to select it from the calendar. And the location, you are going to start entering the location from, and then you'll select it from the drop-down list so that it geocodes to your correct location. And then if you're an enterprise account with multiple agents, you can select one or more agents for each listing. And here you can see on the right-hand side of the screen what it looks like after you've selected a couple of agents. Now, when you're adding a title, be sure to make it descriptive. And this is important for web searches and listings shared on social media. So you guys who are entering these listings, you know where they are, and you just saying, Fairview Plaza may mean something to you, but there's a good chance it's not going to mean something to somebody who doesn't know what Fairview Plaza is. They're going to know Orlando, Florida. They're going to know Boise, Idaho, but they're not going to necessarily know Fairview Plaza, and there might be 30 different Fairview Plazas throughout the country. So we recommend that when you are adding a listing, that you add the city and state. And we'll show you a couple of examples of why we think this. So on the left-hand side of the screen here, you can see that what you're looking at are listings that have been shared via social media. As soon as you enter your listing and save it, QuantumListing, through a complicated but kind of neat process, queues up your listings to be shared to our social media accounts. And the way we do this is without direct human intervention. So what you add to that listing, it is what is going to show up on social media. So the other day when we were preparing for this, we looked at the oh, my daughter is calling me and she's on a train. Hold on a second, please. I'm very sorry, but I will have to just. Okay. Uh, so so what happened here is 3 listings in a row were added by 3 different individuals. The first one says Class A Covington office for lease. It is terrific in terms of telling you what it is that you're looking at, but where is it? So that is an issue I would have with the first title there. The second one is terrific in that it tells you exactly where it is, maybe a little oversharing by adding the zip code in USA. But I have no idea, unless I click through, what it is that I'm going to be looking at right here. The third one, he adds 11320 Texas Highway 242. And so I know it's in Texas. I'm not sure what city it is. Looking at the picture, it's probably a land deal, but it doesn't really give me as much information as I would want. So on the right-hand side of the screen, you see another example that was added. And this one tells you exactly what it is that is going to be in that listing and exactly and where it is, Fresno, California. So of these 4 examples, I think the one on the right is going to be more informative and more likely to get people to click through just because it's more descriptive. Also, when people are searching on either social media or the web, your listing needs to be descriptive enough so that whatever they're searching for is going to result in this showing up. So I hope that's clear. So, and a lot of our listings now are being added through our syndication partners, Build Out and Sharp Launch. And so in order for you to make sure that they come through not only to QuantumListing, but any place else that you're syndicating these listings to, you want to have a really nice descriptive title that shows you where it is at the very least and what it is if you have room. There are character limits, so you may have to use your best editorial hat here, but I definitely put that city and state on that listing title. All right, so once you get that title down, you're going to select the asset type and transaction type. So on the left-hand side of the screen, you see a good list of our asset types. The most conventional ones, the ones that appear most, are up at the top, and then as you slide down, you'll see there are some less frequent ones, but still ones that are very popular. And on the right-hand side of the screen, you're going to see the different types of transactions that are available on QuantumListing. You can choose whether it's for lease or sale, or both sale and lease. I know there are some listing websites that can only do sale or lease, and if you want to have sale and lease, they make you pay for two listings. Not the case here at QuantumListing. And additionally, it is for one low price of $79.99 a year, you're getting to post an unlimited number of listings. So even if you did want to put a separate listing for sale and a separate listing for lease, it's not going to cost you any extra for that. So the other items that you're going to need to add are the rent, square feet, and date available. So when adding the rent, you can leave it as 0, and it will show up as inquire when people search. Square feet available, you can put the total square feet available here. If you want it to be something that they ask you about, leave it as 0, or add a 0 there, and it'll show up as inquire. And then for date available, you're going to click on that line, and a calendar will pop up. You click on either today's date or what other date you want it to be available on, and real simple. Then another critical item, and this is where some people go a little bit astray, but it's pretty simple. When you're adding the location so that it appears on our map, you're going to start typing in the address, and you'll see a list like this will populate, and what you need to do is select the right location. And then you'll see it show up on the map, and if you need to tweak the location a little bit, because not every address has a number, you can take the location pin, click on it, and drag and drop it to where you want it to be. For those of you who don't want to give the exact location, then you can drag and drop that pin to a nearby intersection. So that's how you handle that. But we do require, in order to save your listing, that there be some location, whether it's an intersection or the exact building location. That's up to you, but we do require that you have a location. There are a lot of additional parameters that are optional that you can add. You can see the list of them here. They include everything from parking to the number of offices. You can enumerate individual spaces if you like. Or the property has EV charging. And so there's a lot of additional information that you can add. And you can also add a link for a YouTube video if you have a YouTube video of your individual listing. And before you publish your listing, you have to make sure that these two boxes, the publish box, and I have the rights to all the images I am adding to QuantumListing box, they both need to be checked, or your listing will not appear in the live feed. And it could be that you are working on a listing and you want to get it ready for when that exclusive agency agreement is signed, and you're not going to publish it until you get it signed. And that's fine, and it'll just be waiting on your profile page. There'll be a little lock symbol on it to show you that it's not published. And as far as the rights to images, one thing that we can't do is let you add images that somebody else owns the rights to. So I think you probably know who I'm talking about here, but just make sure that when you are adding the rights, you're not taking them from a third-party site that has a copyright to it that they are going to jealously and rightfully protect, and possibly come after us and you as well So just be careful with that, please. All right, so let's go back now to the website, and Promoter Properties, which is my brokerage company, has a brand new exclusive listing, and I've been waiting for this webinar to add that listing to QuantumListing. And it's so new that I haven't gone and taken pictures inside the building yet, but let's add what we've got so far. So first, what we're going to do is add some pictures. So we're going to browse for them. You can also drag and drop the pictures if you want. So we're adding 2 pictures. Now, Google is okay with you using images from Google Maps. So if that's your source until you get your own pictures, that's okay. So we've added the pictures. If you want to change the pictures at all or change the order of them, let's rearrange the pictures here. So we're going to put this one first. And next we're going to select the agents that are working on this. We're going to come up with our title, which is 221 West Grand Avenue, Montvale, New Jersey. Offices for, and we want to, these are medical offices, so. Okay, and they are for lease and medical. Rent, we're going to put $24.50. And the square feet available is a total of 3130. And date available is today. And additional parameters, we're going to add space 1. And that one is 1015 square feet. And space 2 is 2115. So what else do we need to do here? We're going to add a brief description, and I will 2 suites in a professional building, perfect for doctors. And so the last thing we need to add in terms of the mandatory information is the building address. All right, and you see it shows up here on the drop down. We select it. It is now populated. You can just note that we're using a Google Maps plugin here. And so it's something that should be familiar to most people. And then, of course, we need to slide down the page and say that we've got the rights and we can publish it. And we're going to hit save. The moment of truth here. And there's our new listing right here. And you can see the other picture by clicking on the thumbnail. So as you can see, that didn't take a lot of time. We'll create a flyer the next few days for this property, but QuantumListing will create one for you if you want over here. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, my team doesn't like it when I get ahead of myself here. So let's go back to our slide deck, and we are going, I got a question, where's the lock symbol? So let's go back, I'll show you that. All right, so edit. All right, so I'm going to unpublish this right now. Okay, and I'm going to hit save. And let's go back to, all right, so the lock symbol is right here. So this indicates that I haven't published the listing. Only I can see that right now. If we go to the front page of the website, you can see that this listing by Joe Paleo, who's a guy in Florida who's got a lot of listings, just added another one. And we're going to go back to my page here, or my profile page. And one thing that I didn't check the last time, I'm going to check it this time, is the little box that says will co-broke. So if you're willing to co-broke your listing, you're going to see this little Head and Shoulders avatar. And a lot of people don't check the box. Doesn't mean they're not willing to co-broke, but I personally choose to select it. Makes it a little bit friendlier. So let's go back. We're going to publish it. I'm going to click that co-broke box and the rights box and save. So you can see the lock is gone. We now have the co-broke icon there. And let's go look at the front page. So you can see it right here. And one thing you should know is when you add a listing to QuantumListing, it goes to the front page of the website. Depending on how active our users are that day, it may stay there for a second, a minute, an hour, or it could be gone almost instantly. There are a dozen images, listings here, and once it falls off because other people have added listings, it's just going to be on the next page or a few pages down, depending on how many new listings are added. And then the map here on the right-hand side shows you the locations of those 12 most recently added listings. If you click on one, you'll see that it's highlighted over here. And if you see a number here in a circle, it means that there are several listings in a more concentrated area. You just click on that and it'll drill down and show you what those listings are. So let's keep going. So next we want to talk, oh wait, hold on, I've got a question here. Okay, so there was a question about exporting listings from BuildOut, and what I would suggest is that we schedule something separate from this. All right, back to our regularly scheduled program. So how to search for listings is what we're going to look at next. And there are a bunch of ways that you can search for listings. From the QuantumListing homepage, there is, and on every other page of QuantumListing, there is a search box at the top of the page. So that is good for any time. You can also set a default search location, which we'll show you how to do. You can change your default search location as well. You can search for listings through your networks, through any groups that you are a member of, and also if you are following other QuantumListing users, then you can take advantage of that as well. So finding listings via the home page. As I mentioned before, the most current listings are on that home page. So all listings have their brief moment in the sun. And then there's a search box at the top of the website. And you can see that there are two different ways that you can search. One is by location. You start typing in the location, select it from the drop-down menu, when you see it appear there. And then if you click the little down arrow next to the location pin icon, then you'll see an avatar, and then you can start typing a username and then select their name from the drop down if you know whose listings it is that you are looking for. And then after the third way is, or the next way is via the default search icon. And oh, what happened there? Sorry about that. So if you'll see next to the search icon a location pin on a map, and if you click that, that's going to activate the default search. And let's go have a look right now at how we do that. So if I want to search for property in White Plains, New York, I'm going to start typing in White Plains. I see it shows up in the drop down, and then I get to see everything that is available in that market. If I want to narrow it down to, I can open up the filter, and then I click apply filters. So we've gone from lots of listings to another very large subset of listings, but it makes it a little more manageable. I can refilter. Let's try narrowing down the radius. So we went from 75 to 35 listings, and you just can go through them by clicking the number at the bottom of the page to go from one page to the next. And if you want to clear that filter, you just hit clear. Now, here's that location pin on a map that I mentioned that will activate your default search location. Let's see if I have one set up now. I do, actually. White Plains is my default search location. So let's instead change our location. Let's go to my hometown of Chappaqua, New York. If I want to switch the default location, I click the location pin again, and then I hit change. And let's go back. We'll show you that in action. So you can see how easy it is to change that default location. Okay, moving right along. All right, so finding listings via networks is our next way to find listings. And if you are like me, you may be a member of more than one network. To start searching via your network, what you're going to do is click on Networks in the left-hand sidebar menu. It opens up the sub menu here. And let's go to the website, and yep, okay, we're going to go to the website and do that. So how do I get to my networks? I click my profile avatar and open up the networks menu. So as you can see, I'm a member of 1, 2, 3, 5 networks. If you wanted to join more than one network, you click connect, and we'll get an email, or the network admin will get an email and accept your request to join the network. So let us first look at all the network listings. And if I wanted to select from here individual network, I'm going to select my network. It takes me here to, now you might notice, actually I was busy editing my listings today, so my listings are here, and you may make the observation that not all these listings are in Connecticut. So the reason for that is that when you join a network, you take all of your listings with you into that network. So but you can search that network and you can see, so here are the people who are in this network. It's not just me. And I want to see what's going on in New Milford. So here's my listing. Tom Hill has one here. Rich Gibbons and Dan Zelson also have listings in this particular part of the network. And you can filter by asset type, trade type, and size of the space and price as well. So, and you could also just right off the top select which network you wanted to look at, and again, you can search the same way. Okay. We're off to groups. So you can also find listings via groups. And just to make it clear, the difference between groups and networks is this. A network is something, when you join QuantumListing, we automatically assign you to a network, and it's based on your geography. Groups are a little bit different in that you can start your own group, and you can also join other groups. And we give you a want group. So if you are in Idaho and you're a broker in Idaho and you don't see what you're looking for here on QuantumListing, when you can post a want in the wants group, and it will show up in chat, and that will allow your fellow brokers to see what you are looking for and proffer what it is they have that might meet your criteria. So let's go back to groups, and the way to get to our group is clicking the avatar for our profile page and groups. And we won't go through all the group items today. We're just going to focus on listings. And similar to how we searched in the networks, you can enter a location. If you're a member of multiple groups, you can select which group it is that you want to search. And you can also search by asset type and trade type and size and price as well. So hopefully this is beginning to seem a little bit familiar, and you'll be very comfortable with how to get from one type of search to another. Now, even smaller and more individualized than our networks or our groups are our follow feature. And you open up the follow menu by, sorry, I went too far. So by opening up the social item in the left-hand sidebar menu, and you can see that I have 8 followers. I'm following 41 people, and there are 752 listings in the stream. The stream is the aggregate of the listings of the people that you are following. So let's go back to the website. And so here we are at social. And let's say I want to see the stream. Okay, so I can search by location. And I can also search by listing title here. But what is probably going to be more what I want is I'm following Admiral Real Estate. and I want to see his listing. So I'm going to click on his name here. Let's go back one. Just all right. So I'm clicking on Admiral Real Estate here. I'm going to then be brought to his profile page, and I got to tell my friends at Admiral they have to update their membership because they've got the red lock. So if you see the red lock on your profile picture, it means it's time to renew your Quantum Listing membership. But their listings are still visible, and we can click through. You can still see all the details. You'll still be able to contact them, but they do need to renew their membership. It just expired a couple of weeks ago, so perhaps they just need a gentle reminder from us. Okay, so let's go back to our profile page. Social. And so you can do that the same with the people who are following you and who you are following as well. All right, so we've gotten through the different ways to search, and now let's focus on some of the other neat tips and tricks and features here at Quantum Listing. We have another 8 or 9 minutes before it's time to say goodbye, and let's see if we can get through as much of this as possible. All right, so instead of deleting listings when you've sold or leased them, we recommend that you archive them. And you'll see them here. To archive them, there's 3 little dots here at the top of every listing card, or if you click through on its detail page, and you'll get the options of what you can do with it. Delete is there as an option, but again, we really hope that you archive it. And there are many reasons why we recommend you archive it. And first is it's nice to have a record of the deals that you have done. Second is there is a notes feature, which you can take private notes on any listing. So if you want to remind yourself when you need to collect the commission or when it's up for renewal, those notes are a terrific way to do that as well. There's also, you can send listings to friends by using the red sharing icon. And then you can also share them to social media. So here, if you click this icon, you'll be able to send an email. This goes to Google+, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. So lots of great ways to share your listings. And again, when this goes back to our comment earlier about listing titles, when you are sending it, the title that you have on your listing is going to be the subject line of that email. It's going to be the subject that's auto-populated in any of those social media posts. You can change them, but make things easy for yourself so that you don't have to change them. Just do it right the first time. You also can save listings to your favorites. So say you are going through the site, you see somebody else's listing that you want to save for later. You click that little ribbon at the top of the listing, and it will be available for you on your profile page in the info section. Okay, and next, this is a great feature that a lot of other sites provide, but I don't think any of them do it for free like we do, or at no additional charge. Iframes are a really cool way to either take an individual listing and put it on your website or blog or your entire profile. And the great thing about using these iframes is that when you update something on QuantumListing, it updates on your website or blog in real time. So you don't have to do things twice. You do it on QuantumListing, and then it happens everywhere else you have it. At Promoter Properties, we're doing this, and I can tell you it saves a ton of time. It gets my listings onto my website super fast instead of having to wait to send it to a designer and a coder and the back and forth that goes with those to make sure that it's right. And it's something that pretty much anybody can do. Here's the little notes icon I mentioned about doing the private notes earlier. You write a little note, you click save, you'll be able to go back and edit or delete it later as well. We have listing reports, so you can click the little plus sign on the right-hand side of any listing detail page to add it to a report. And the report you can download, you can email it, or you can even use the report as a different way to post the listings on your website or blog. The titles are hyperlinked, as are the images, back to the listing detail page on QuantumListing. So those become really useful tools. So if you're putting together a survey for a customer, or you want to show an owner what else is available in the market, use one of these reports, and it's a great way to share that information. Now, another nice feature that we have is we'll create a listing flyer for you. Now, if you're using BuildOut or Sharp Launch, they're going to do a much prettier listing flyer. But if you have a new listing, you haven't got a chance to do your own flyer yet, you don't have Sharp Launch or BuildOut, add those pictures, add those PDFs, whatever it is, and any information that you've also added will become part of the listing flyer that QuantumListing will create for you. There's also going to be a map, which I don't think you can see on this example, but there is a little map as well that will show where your listing is. So super great feature, which can save your bacon if you're running out the door to show a listing and you don't have your own flyer yet. So one thing that we recommend you do is add a profile picture on your website, on your QuantumListing profile, because look at this smiley face right here. Wouldn't you rather see that than this smiley face? Well, it's my face, maybe not. But your face, you definitely want to see your face instead of the smiley guy. It shows that you've put some care into your profile. You've got some pride in how you're representing your properties and your profile to the world at large. So that brings us to the end of our formal presentation, and we brought it in right on time. It's 3:44. So if you have questions, we have this terrific How It Works section, which is accessible from every page of our website. At the top, on the bottom right corner, you'll see a blue circle. That's the intercom. Here's the intercom. Here's how it works. And so you can get answers that way. You can also shoot us an email at support@QuantumListing. And we have a brand new button on our website, and that's schedule a demo. So if you want to have a one-on-one session with one of our team members, we would be happy to schedule a demo with you. Just click that button and our calendar will pop up and you can find a time that works for you. And if you're not a member of QuantumListing yet, please click that free trial button after the webinar and sign up for your free trial. You get, through the end of 2018, we're giving 3 months. Starting in January, you're getting a 1 month free trial. So tell your friends to sign up now to get 3 times the amount of free time. Once your trial is up, our pricing is super reasonable, $79.99 a year for individuals or per agent for enterprises. You pay via PayPal, so it's secure. And that is for unlimited listings. If you want to find out more, either click that demo button at the top right, contact me at david@quantumlisting.com. That phone number there, 914-470-5719, is my direct line. And all that's left now is to say thank you. Thank you to Andres and Julia, our team members who helped prepare today's webinar. And thank you, folks, for spending time in the middle of your week with us. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have questions, shoot me an email, david@quantumlisting.com, and we'll be happy to answer them offline. We'll stick around. I'm going to end the recording now, but if you want to ask any questions now, we'll stick around. But again, thank you. Have great holidays, everybody. Be safe, and we'll see you real soon.